Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Getting Connected. Do you believe in God? Do you want to believe in God? Do you want to get connected, or do you struggle with this? If so, this next 15 minutes is for you. I'm Miss Chrissy D with the PNK Files, helping you prepare for life. And this is Darlene Turner with VictimToVictory, and together we're the Perspective.
Hi, everyone. Well, today we're broaching the subject of God, and it's a big subject. So, we're just going to kind of break it down into a little bit of understanding that we can share. So I just wanted to share from my experience of discovering God in my life. I was raised as, a real controlling religion that just laid it out. This is what it is. This is what you believe, and everybody else is wrong. And so as I explored, and that religion and was able to dive deep into it, there were so many things that were just contradictory to how I felt inside. And as I got old enough to state this and ask those hard questions that they didn't have answers for, I had to go my own way. And within that, I was disowned by the family. And so much was, I wasn't allowed to do that. That's the wrong choice. So I just shut the door on God. I didn't love God. I didn't hate God. It just wasn't there. And so went through 25 years of pretty much no connection at all. And when I read this one book, and I think I probably shared this story before, but it just helped me see a whole new perspective that resonated with me, that I could see God with new eyes and revisit and open that door. And when I did, it really led me down a road of discovery that it was within me, and it was not out there as something in the sky or something that I had to go to a church to connect to, or have, somebody, a middleman in between. And so from that place, I was able to explore even more. And I'm at a state now where I can see God within everything, within nature, within myself, within others. And I'm just at a beautiful place. And I know there's still so much more to discover.
Yeah. And for me, I have a really hard time. I'm one of these people that struggles. I struggle with the word God or Christianity. But when I look at the message, or I hear about passages, or I read, I realize that is how I live my life, and I really like it. So at the end of the day, whether we're right about God or our beliefs, or whether we're wrong about religion, so what? If we all lived that way, wouldn't this be a much better place? I live that way. I like it. I feel I do God's work. I am in the trenches with the people that need it the most. My friend and partner at work, he calls it in the dark. And you know what? That's where our light shines, is in the dark, helping those people.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And that's what the perspective is all about. It's unique to each one of us, and we want to honor each one of you out there in whatever place you're at with this understanding, whether you feel it inside, or you feel it in the work you do, or maybe you don't feel it at all. That, this is where we're coming from, and hoping to give you a new perspective and open up a door of possibilities.
Yeah. So when we think about things, and we're coming from the place of trauma, abuse, or chronic pain, then that's where our solutions are coming from. They're coming from what we know. And we want to open the door and come from a different place than that. And that's where I get stuck. So I get stuck thinking about my past life. I had a roof over my head. I had money to take care of myself. That stuff is all gone. So now the job that I do, the work that I do, doesn't cover my bills. It won't keep a roof over my head and pay my bills. So then I go out, I've got a second job. And instead of being present at work, doing what I call God's work and helping the people that need it, I'm not there for the right reason. I'm chasing overtime and extra hours to make sure I'm okay. And I have to be of course we have to be conscious that our bills are paid, but that's not why I'm there, right? So Darlene and I have been listening to this really cool guy there, and look in the comments for the link. And it's an interview that Matthew McConaughey does with a gentleman, I hope I get his name right, is called Sadhguru. And he says, people say to him, bless me with, may all my dreams come true. And he says, no, may all your dreams not come true. Make things you can't even dream about come true. And the examples that he uses are, so you have a cup of coffee. You know what a cup of coffee is, so you can dream about having a better cup of coffee. If you have $1 million, you can dream about having $1 billion. So these are exaggerations of what we already know. So it limits us. It limits ourselves. So we are memory, we're physical, we're mental memory, we're genetic memory, we're energy, we're consciousness, we're unconsciousness. This is who we are as a person. So we can stand on that stage and go out there and live the riches of our life as it plays out, or we can sink into what we know and it becomes a quicksand, and it takes everything away from us. Most of us are living with the suffering that we have experienced in the last 10 years, or we're worried about what's going to happen 2 days from now. So we're not living, we're limiting ourselves. So here we are, we're on top of the evolutionary chart, we're top of the food chain, and yet we're sinking into our past memory. So we all have this memory. What are we going to do with it? We're going to stand on it and dance, or are we going to sink into that hole and die? So if we put it all together with our perspective on trauma, abuse, and chronic pain, what are the steps to changing that so that we don't come from that place? For me, I need to stop worrying about whether I'm right or not about God and just do God's work, do my purpose, what I'm here to do my part, not come from my past trauma. Just get out there, do the work, and tell people you all have a part and we all need to have our part. Wouldn't the world be a much better place if that's what we all did? We're exponential. We're all in this together and we all need to do our part.
It's so true. I was just thinking to myself, I've talked to some homeless people and that and engaged with them, and they are sometimes closer to God than a lot of people I've met that are rich. They have that faith and that trust and that humanity for each other and looking out for each other. So there is no definite definition on this. And I wanted to add as well that from that place where we've created the problems, we can't solve them from that place. We need to open up and say, I don't know. And that opens the door to unlimited possibilities around that and a new way to show up for us. And I think that works as on an individual basis, but it also works on a global scale right now because everybody is at a new place. We can't really go back to the way things are. So why don't we pull together as a humanity and move together as a full body? So if we think of us humans as being, all of us being one full body, it's like we're attacking ourselves. Our body is attacking itself because we all are a piece of God. We all are made of the same dust and and the same thing. That why not pull together and share together and have kindness together and compassion? Because I think that's really where this change is going to happen for a new way to open up for all of us.
Yeah, absolutely. And it doesn't matter what perspective we're coming from. We're all different. We all see things different. Like one of the things that he talked about, and if you just use like your hand, for example, I can put this up and everybody can see this, but there is another side to it. So we don't want to limit ourselves. We always want to know that there's lots of different sides and different ways out there, but let's at least engage. Let's engage. Let's all do our part, right?
Yes. And one of my main, because our title is Get Connected. And I know we've talked about this show on show, but it really is the basis, is to get connected to yourself, your heart, and get quiet. I know we're kind of talking about God, so I wanted to bring in Jesus in this. He spent a lot of time communicating with God and a lot of time in that stillness to get clarity, to get that message and get that direction for his unique gift to share with the world. And if we don't sometimes do that, a lot of times we'll run around and it'll be this, it'll be that, and there'll be a lot of sort of distractions around that. So I just wanted to bring that piece in. It is about getting connected to ourself, our unique gift. And by the way, this is Namaste for I see the God in you, the light in you. And then connect to each other and connect as a humanity and a whole body to move forward and care about each other and have compassion for each other.
Yeah, we're all in this together. So I think that brings us to our tips.
Yes, and my tip 1 is walk the walk and talk the talk. Do God's work. Be kind to each other. First of all, be kind to yourself. And this is where it comes in, that brings it home to us first, is all those things that we give out, give that to yourself. So kindness, love yourself, take care of yourself, and then ripple it out to others, and walk together as a full unit, all of us.
Yeah, and that ties right into tip 2. Again, go to the link in the comments below and listen to that article with Matthew McConaughey and Sadhguru, and everybody do your part. He gives a really great example of, in India, they needed to plant this huge amount of trees in order to make things better over there. And they are like, well, there's no way that we could plant that many trees. And then you break it down and go, well, there's this many people. If everybody just does their part and plants 2 or 3 trees, then of course we can get to that place. Yes, we can do it, but it's going to take everybody doing their part.
Yeah. And I think they planted their billion of trees they needed planted, and they're going beyond. So yeah. And that's so true. If we all just do a little bit, it lightens the load and we can all move together as one unit or one body. And in my tip 3, and we didn't talk about this a ton, but I want to bring it in, it is we're all worthy. We're all worthy to connect to God. We are all God's children, a creator, or we'll all come from one source, however you want to look at it, but we're all worthy of this. And if you're not feeling that, and you may find that might be that weak link within yourself that blocks that connection, in the comments below, we have the Ho'oponopono song that we've shared before, because forgive yourself. You are as important as me, as Chrissy, as that homeless person, as the president. It doesn't matter. We all matter. And we're all worthy and ask to be connected. If you're not feeling that connection, sit in that stillness, ask to be connected, and it will be answered. And please surrender to the I don't know. I don't know how to solve this. I don't know how to get out of this box. And just sit in that. And then that opens that door of possibilities.
Absolutely. Remember, if you're here, you're worthy and you have a part. So thanks everybody for joining us. Come and join us every Sunday at 10 o'clock for the new perspective on trauma, abuse, chronic pain, and the steps to a healthy and thriving life. And we will see you next week.